Yo, how is everyone doing? It's been a while. Okay, I'll keep this short. I'll try to because the last time I did the take, it took 20 minutes. First, updates. Comics still going on. Okay, I'm still working on the comic. I just barely am able to record because I'm drawing this on my Surface tablet instead of my tools. And right now I don't have extra stage on because, transferring from tablet, the USB key, back to the computer is a pain in the ass. Takes time, takes rewriting, and yada yada yada. So soon enough, I'll be installing OBS on my tablet so that I can do these kind of recordings on the fly, and then bring in the file in here and then talk over it. Because drawing and talking at the same time is practically impossible for me. Some people can do it. Damn you, Glenn Keane! He was able to do a talk and do that. That was from the previous take. I'll explain. But frankly, when it comes to the drawing side, you guys saw some of the time lapse I've been uploading, and I love these. Something's been going on, okay, drawing wise. Basically shutting myself off from YouTube videos, just slapping on music, and just remaining focused on a single drawing for a long amount of time kind of got me into the state where I kind of understand and start feeling texture. Like I don't think about the basic. Let's say, like right now, I'm doing the basic. Okay, I'm gonna do a line there, and there's a line there. It's holding a sword. Figure's kind of running. Just starting with that, which is not bad. Yet, it's not the state of mind that I have if I don't talk while drawing. That being the hardest thing of all time. But so what kind of seems to trigger, and I'll try to be as accurate as I could be, it's the right side of the brain just picking up the pace, being much more active. And at that point, my mind goes into this mode where when I do a certain line on a character I somewhat have sketched out, I kind of go, wait a second, there's a cape. Where have I seen a cape before? Comic-Con. I've been in Comic-Con Montreal. At that time, this person was wearing a cape that's somewhat this texture or this textile. I've touched this textile before doing something else. So how would it flow? How does it reflect on the light? How does it just feel? And there you see, like that little cycle just goes whenever I jump on an element. So I've been dealing with fur, which has been kind of difficult. Well, extremely difficult because, if I work with anthropomorphic type of figure, I've rarely done that. So I have to consider, okay, I've had a bird years ago, and I've petted it. So how did the feathers feel? And this is where my first Mockingbird time lapse just falls apart. There was a point where I'm like, wait a second. This isn't a dove. I've only had a dove and possibly, not a pigeon, something else. It was a smaller bird, but I completely forgot how it felt to pet that smaller bird. So I was kind of trying to reference off picture, yet at the same time, lighting became an issue because I had to keep consistent with the fur and the lighting. So, like you see, there's this whole mental cycle that just pops in if you just let your brain take over. Instead of, if you just let your brain or the right side of the brain take over and you let emotions kind of dictate for a part of it, and then you scale back and you see, okay, well, the anatomy is just not there, so let me see how I can modify this, and you just go. That's why when I used to draw, either in public, either while speaking like right now, or either while watching YouTube video, my mind couldn't get into that state because I was distracted by what was going on the stream, or on the screen, not the stream, not streaming this. So That's why it's quite it's for me, again, it's personal experience. It may not be the same with everyone, okay? That's the golden thing. So that's why with me it's like as soon as I took a batch load of tutorials, did the practice, yet I never let my brain go with that practice. And that's where when it comes to Psychria, I think I spoke about him before. I'll try to put a link in the description. I'll try not to forget. But the concept of mileage gets really important. It gets amazingly important on that end because you want to get, you want to get that, sink in that time to draw and get it all, get that muscle memory, get your brain to go. And yes, all this sounds quite crazy, but it does make sense after years and years. That little quote, animation is concentration, he wasn't kidding. Anyone who's read the Animator's Survival Guide remembers that picture. That person wasn't kidding. So it's interesting because I can kind of see the two sides of my brains. Like right now, I'm going with my basics, my basic type of stuff, and I'm just sketching out silhouettes and poses and just seeing how it works. Yet, if I wasn't talking, if I didn't, if I was just trying to enable the zone, then instead that shoulder would have been like, wait a minute, okay, how does that shoulder feel in this position? I've had my arm stretch out like that before, so how would it feel? And instead of like constantly adding lines, I would try to feel it out into how I've experienced certain things, how I've experienced certain textures, or hell, even when it comes to I've never worn an armor, but I did wear hockey gear. So how does it kind of feel with more weight? Because armor has more weight depending on what type of armor. How does the, let's say, leather armor, or is it steel? How does those texture feel? Because everyone felt steel, and anyone kind of knows how it reflects at certain when it comes to certain light angles. So it's just letting the brain go into that mental cycle, and that's where I'm just getting this bliss. I became quite a shut-in because I really want to experience that a lot more, and I'm feeling like it's helping my artwork tenfold because all the tutorials I've taken before, now they're starting to make sense. And that's, it's a personal journey, it's a personal experience. It's not going to be the same for everyone. That's definitely for sure. Every time I thought, oh, this person has done this way, so maybe it's gonna work for me. Not exactly. Not exactly. So dealing with the two sides of the brain like that is just so much of a bliss. Also, another thing that's kind of cool, okay, and that's something that related to the previous drawing I shown, is when I start drawing characters, some of my characters, then instead of going with, sorry for the saving feature, instead of going with the basic, let's say I'm gonna do a circle, I'm gonna add a line, stick figurine for the shoulder, and going like that. No. I scratch that out and I try to picture the character in motion. And I know I'm repeating that constantly, but I try to see the character move as if it was alive. I'm trying to see the character as if I'm watching a TV show or my own TV show as it's moving. And this just requires a good amount of brain power. It requires a lot of concentration because you're trying to see something that is not there, but at the same time you're trying to put it on paper. So I'm gonna give this another shot because I hated that previous sketch. Let me just show you. I hated that sketch, but it kind of proved the point. Let's see, I kind of want to do something else with her, so at the same time I gotta think about the character and how the character would react. So She's a princess, okay, but she's hearing a news that is making her go, "What?" or "What?" Um, is it a surprise what, or is it a what of anger? If it's anger, princess, high status. So even if she's young, she's still gonna have like that high status. So here I start, working on a bit of the frame, but right then and there, I'm trying to get that outline going, not solidifying it directly, but now I'm trying to go with the expression. How would it feel? How would she look? And this is where, sometimes I have to go quiet, or I'd better show this in the timeline. But this is where, okay, I'm getting a nose there because of how the reaction is. So looking from below, just raising an eyebrow and going, what? But at the same time, are the eyes going to be stunned? That looks a bit hateful. Let me see. Let's just try to run with this. There's this whole thing of running with this. Not the way. No. Let's see. It's a surprise, so at this point, I kind of want to have like this surprise look, even though I shoved the eyebrows down. I kind of want to raise them up. Also, not forgetting the. Let's see. It's a surprise look, so. This is where I kind of want to go into. Is this line too hateful? And then, okay, let's look back at this from afar. Maybe it's because the eyebrows are just there, but let's see. You know what? Let's wipe it out. Maybe I kind of wanted to run with that, but I'll wipe it out. It'll be much simpler. So again, let's see. I want the sheer look of confusion, but not like, what? Just like, what? It's weird. And right now, I'm taking the fucking pose with my mouth, just going, what? And here, I really want to reinforce that look of confusion. Because the mouth is one part, but the look of confusion, this is what I just want to constantly see in my head as a show. And I kind of want to trail back, especially when it comes to the mouth. In my head, I want to trail back to the point leading up to that face, where you would go, you would lift your mouth like that. Let's see. You would lift your mouth like that, and then drop it. Starting with this, and then you would drop it like, what? And of course, maybe the end frame would be better, because the end frame after this would be, I usually call it the Wallace and Gromit mouth, because they always have... what? Yeah, because the teeth are not clenched, but they're really close. And that's what it's showing. I think that would have been a much better mouth. Maybe I can integrate this. Like I'm receiving split feedback when it comes to adding teeth up, teeth down, depending on what the action or words being said is. Sometimes it's much better to show only the teeth. The teeth. Forgive me for my Canadianness. The teeth. Your feet. All that. Anyway, so sometimes it's better to show them upward only or downward only, but sometimes it's much better to just show them on both upper and lower. It's a weird thing, but I can kind of see how and what they mean by this. Also, I really want to redesign this character, maybe after Volume 4. Anyway, I'm already starting to redesign most of the cast, or I shouldn't say redesign, I should say reinforce their design, because even with what I'm telling you right now, when it comes to imagining that the facial expression like a show, like an animated movie or like an animated sequence, with that comes the part where I start to rethink about the character, their background, what they like, what they want, what they do. And this is where the cycle just goes fucking nuts. Because there's this back and forth in your head where, okay, wait, so if this character did this, and this, or is that kind of attitude, why is this character performing this? Wouldn't this character react this way? And, well, this is where I get to create a lot of inside jokes, and I get to take back that little backstory. Well, not take back. I get to reinforce the backstory I made, along with adding better connections between characters. Why are they against each other? Why couldn't they be friends? What's a point they have in common? What's their previous history? How have they grown up to be this way? So it's kind of nuts, man. It's kind of nuts. Hell, even now, if I wasn't talking, I'd be thinking about, okay, dreads, African type of dreads. How does it look? Even there, I've really messed up with the eyes, so I need to get that down. But all of this is concentration, practice, and get that mileage. Oh, and also study. You gotta study, or else nothing's gonna trigger. So again, I make it 20 freaking minutes. Way to go, updates. Quick notes, stream. Do you want some Bloodborne, or do you want some Mortal Kombat Online fighting people and learning characters? You tell me. I'll try to get the face cam going, and see you on Friday. Alright, well, thanks again, guys. More updates on the ROM HQ. More updates on, well, the ROM HQ, the Facebook page, as well as Instagram for drawing. I'll see if I can put the links in the description, along with Cypria's channel. I will see you all next time. Thanks again, guys. Thanks a lot for the comments. I'm going to try to do something for you guys, along with getting Yakuza 0 and giving Sega a nut punch. Alright, guys.